You're probably wondering, why am I showing you this? Well, to a lot of us, this is a familiar scene. I know with COVID, this is almost non existent, but this could still be the scene in our minds. Allow me to explain. The impact of music. It draws on your emotion. Do you ever notice that the genre of music puts you into a mood? It's by design. Music is an expression, and it often touches on feelings and memories. Stick to the end of this video, and I'll show you the important ways to determine if the music that you are listening to is entertaining the enemy or is it entertaining God. When I was doing research for this video, I came across an article by a reporter named Adam Cross, and the title of his article was called "How Does Music Affect Our Lives?" In this article, he says, music affects our emotions. When we listen to sad songs, we tend to feel a decline in mood. When we listen to happy songs, we feel happier. Upbeat songs with energetic riffs and fast-paced rhythms, such as those we hear in sporting events, tend to make us excited and pumped up. Then he sums up the article this way. Overall, here's the final conclusion I could come up with. Music is simply a force that cannot be explained. It messes with our heads. It makes us feel different emotions. Sometimes, even physically, changes us. So have any of you ever felt that way? Think about the genres of music that you listen to. Whether it's hip hop or heavy metal, where you use it to hype you up or to help you focus. Or even if it's country music or R&B, where you're using that to give you strength during an emotional relationship breakup. Music definitely ties to your emotions, and because of that, there is a spiritual element that's associated with that as well. So what do I mean by that? The thing is that spirituality goes beyond the physical. Think about the lyrics that are contained in some of the songs that you listen to. Whether they're talking about alcohol consumption or about drug use or about promiscuity or vulgarity and violence. The list goes on and on. Where music, because it's emotional, it can tug on your beliefs, which can be interpreted as spirituality, and then it leads you to specific behaviors, which is the physical. Now, I know not every song out there ties into the categories I just listed above. I get that. But even if it feels or sounds innocent, the thing you have to consider is, do you really know what's influencing the artist to make that song? More on that later. Now, some of you might already be thinking that I might go down the path of talking about how, Lucifer, the devil, was the chief musician in heaven, and this ties into that. That's a discussion that we definitely can have, and but I think not for this video. But we can definitely discuss it in the comments, and potentially we could have a video about that later using the scriptures to back up any discussion points we have. But my point is that whether he was a chief musician or not, we have to understand that the devil definitely uses music to influence people no matter what. And we need to make sure that we understand that and recognize that, so we're not influenced by him. One thing that you may or may not know is that, I used to DJ, so I definitely understand and can appreciate how music can touch a particular emotion. So I definitely understand, the power of music. Um, and when I looked at this topic and thought about it, I literally just thought about, well, how did I come to the realization that music can influence you from an emotional standpoint, and understanding the severity of how a certain music can adjust and lead to different behaviors. I may date myself or age myself by saying this, but I remember back in the day when I used to listen to like Wu-Tang, and Mobb Deep, and in different hip hop groups like that. It really, when I listened to it, I got hyped for sure. Definitely got hyped, and whether it caused aggression or what have you, I felt the music actually influenced that. Or if I was listening to the R&B tracks, it would tie into an emotional state, whether we're going through an emotional time in my life or not. So I understand how it works. So whether, as I mentioned before, whether it's heavy metal or hip hop, country or R&B, the music is designed to tug at a particular emotion and impact you in that way. No matter what age, young, old, you have to take heed. Your mind is a battleground, and music is like the war drum or the war cry, if you will, escalating the battle in your mind. But we have to literally give no leeway or opportunity for the devil in any way, shape, or form. Why do I say that? If you look at 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 22, it says, abstain from all appearance of evil. Don't give the devil any opportunity. But why am I telling you this? The word tells us in Romans 13 verse 11, and that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So essentially what that scripture is telling you is that not to be distracted before it's too late. When it comes to music, as we mentioned before, it is set to entertain us. And you may say that, not every song is bad per se. But as I mentioned before, do you know the motives behind that song? What's influencing or what's inspiring that artist? What if they're using methods that, are contrary to what you believe or what you even like or would otherwise want to know or do? And they're just serving it to you like a plate of food. Let me give you this analogy. Let's say you went to a restaurant and you knew the chef used poison to season your food. You would avoid it, right? What if you realized the chef was not sanitary? Or you had an inclination that they had ulterior motives? Would you still indulge with that plate of food? And would you even give your regards to the chef and tip your waiter or your waitress? So why do we do that with music? Again, I know I used to be in this lifestyle, right? But I realized that it's not worth it. And I'm not saying if you listen to the song you're anti-holy or what have you. Sometimes people just don't know. But if you do know, now you have the opportunity to make sure you're not indulging yourself in your mind and feeding yourself with things that are impacting you, what the devil is literally trying to influence and force you with. Don't give any leeway to the devil in any way, shape, or form. Especially when it comes to music. Because as we read in the article before, I've been telling you throughout the video, it influences your emotion. And if it influences your emotion, it can definitely influence and dictate your behavior. So here are some tips to help ensure you're not being influenced by an evil nature. So number one, the content. Very key. Look at the content of the song. What is the song promoting? Look at the lyrics, the emphasis, the story within it. that should definitely give you a clue in terms of if it was being influenced by a sinful, evil nature or not. Number 2, the artist. Look at the lifestyle of the artist. You know, is it consistent with godly principles? Or is it inconsistent? Or is it consistent with things that are totally contrary to godly principles or to holiness? The lifestyle of the artist will undoubtedly come out in some shape or form if you pay attention to it. Number 3, the purpose. What is the intent of the song? You know, why is the song even being played at all? What message is it trying to give to you? That is so important, because if you understand the message that it's trying to give to you, you'll know if it should be for you or not. Number 4, memory. This one I really appreciated a lot. You know, think about it. Does the song bring your mind back to a sinful desire or a nature that you're trying to get away from, you know, or that you've already left, or God is trying to keep you away from? You know, that is very important, because if it's trying to bring you back, or if it's bringing back certain things in your mind, you have to consider, hey, is this really for me? Is this something I really should be listening to? I'm telling all of you this, you know, to bring awareness to you about what music can do, whether it's positive or negative. And I'm focusing on the negative aspects because a lot of it is negative out there, which is impacting so many people's lives. And I'm telling to people who are Christ and believers, and people who are not. You know, the devil is the devil, no matter if you serve the Most High or if you don't serve him at all. So never let your mind be infiltrated and served with food poisoning, whether it's purposely or accidentally. You're definitely worth so much more than that. So with that, I want to thank every single one of you for watching this video and being a part of this channel. I hope that today's video was very inspiring to you and provided some information in terms of how to identify music that is out there and how it can potentially impact you in a negative fashion. Please use the tips that I mentioned a little bit earlier to help identify that music. Your question now might be, well, what should I do? What type of music should I listen to? Well, if you want to get uplifting music and it sure is not negative or have a sinful connotation, I would recommend finding music that portrays to the Lord and uplifts the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because if it's uplifting him, undoubtedly it should be uplifting you as well. So I encourage you to find some songs and genres related to that. Now, also, I'm going to encourage everyone to please subscribe. Ensure that the bell button is set to notify you of new videos, just to make sure that you're aware when new videos are posted online. Please like and share as well with friends and other people as well, to ensure that they get the messages as well. Of course, if you have any questions that you want to send my way, the email address is in the description below, and then you can send an email there and I'll get back to you in due time. And then of course, if you have any comments or discussion points you want to open, please, by all means, and I encourage it, put it in the comment section below. I'd be very happy to have discussions with you and involve others as well to get their thoughts on this video and in as well future videos as well. So again, with that, thank you again for joining, and until next time, shalom.